Red Nation, are we here?
The best show for Chicago sports.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Y'all know why we here. We got to break down these teams, baby. We got to talk these Bulls, got to talk these Bears. On today's show, we're going to be previewing Game 2, Bulls versus the Milwaukee Bucks. What's it going to take for this Bulls team to get a dub? Also going to key in on some specific players that we're going to need to step up tonight. Also looking at the other side of the docket. What are the Bucks bringing into this game? This ain't going to be an easy one, y'all. So we got to make it happen. Red Nation in the building. At the same time, you know, we got to talk about what Ja Morant did last night. I keep telling y'all, stop playing with that boy Ja. And also, Pelicans in the upset. Devin Booker okay? Let's get it. 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 Let's go. Yeah. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. Y'all already know how we do, man. Hit that like button.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. How you guys feeling today, man? It's first off, playoffs, baby. Woo! It's a Bulls playoff day. I'm hyped. Let's go. Let's get it cracking. It ain't going to be easy. We got a lot going against us. It ain't going to be a cakewalk. But you got to dig deep. You got to find a way to get you a dub, right? You got to find a way to get you a dub. How do the Bulls come out of this thing with a dub? We're going to be breaking all that down today. Playoff days feel different, don't they, man? You wake up a little different. You strut a little different. Yeah, I'm saying you feel good. You know what I mean? I woke up this morning, playoff mode, bro. Talking about ready to go. Who's in the chat, by the way? Shout out to the chat for pulling up as always, man. If y'all ain't hit that like button, what are you doing? Steve-O's in the chat. Justin in the chat. What's good? Shay's in the chat. What's good? ID in the chat. What's good? Diego's in the chat. What's good? Shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all for showing love. There's a lot to talk about with this team today. The Bulls are in a situation now where they can change everything moving forward. This game is huge. And I'll ask the chat, right? Because your boy's going dolo today. This is a Pat and the People show. I am Pat. Y'all are the people. Shout out to y'all, man. Your boy's going dolo today, 2 hours. By the way, this ain't easy. Is it better for us to have lost game 1 and take game 2? I know game 1 was a heartbreaker. I know you want to get every game that you can, and it's not going to be easy coming in here tonight taking game 2, right? It's not like you got a cakewalk on your hands coming in here tonight taking game 2, right? It's not like you're coming in here playing the Atlanta Hawks with Ice Tray, who's chilly in this mug, coming in here tonight, right? You're playing the defending NBA champions. They're balling. They know who their identity is. They know what they do well. You're playing the defending NBA champions. They already know what it is, right? But in a situation like this, you've got your adjustments that you can make. You've seen what they do. Now you have to figure out, can you adjust back to what they do well? Now you have to figure out, can you adjust back to what they do well, right? Because they're going to come out. You've set the bar. I told y'all, Bulls have set the bar now. Now on the other side, the Bucks are going to probably match that bar. Let's not get it twisted. Now the question is, if they match that bar and raise the bar again, can you get to that level? Can you get to that level, right? Biggest problem the Bulls are going to have coming into this is now they know what you can do. And the concern that we have is, can the Bulls do better than what we saw? But there is that advantage for the Bulls. We always give that advantage to the other team, right? We always talk about the other team having that advantage as, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know what we're going to do now. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do on the other side of that. Like, yeah, they do. But it's still basketball. We've still got smart people in this building. We've still got good minds in this building. We also know what they're going to do now. Now, can we adjust to that? Can we play that level? Can we get to that, get the job done? And that's it. That's a whole different question, right? But now we also know what they're going to do. We also know how they're coming. And so for me, tonight is a huge night in this thing, because for me, if you take game one, say we did win game one, but in game two, you come out and the Bucks kind of give you that same thing, and you're a little bit down going back to Chicago. Now, granted, you've got Chicago to bring you up. This UC vibe is going to be crazy when we get back to Chicago. Playoffs in Chicago. What are we talking about? The vibe is going to be wild out here. But that momentum shifts back to Milwaukee just enough that if they split in Chicago, right, I think that's probably good night, Irene. But this game too means so much, right? Because for me with the Bulls, it's mental right now. For me with the Bulls, it's mental right now. You're telling me Zach Levine all of a sudden can't remember how to score a basketball? How'd that happen? He can't remember how to shoot the three ball that he shot well all season. How'd that happen? Of course, a little bit of the knee. You know what I'm saying? Zach gets a lot of lift on his three-point shot. Definitely is playing a part in it. But the biggest thing for me is that everybody on this team seems to not be doing what they've done well all season. It's mental right now. I feel like they're in their own heads. I feel like they do understand what the number is on, hey, we haven't beaten this team. Hey, we haven't done this. Hey, we haven't done that. Hey, tonight's the night where you can break all those curses. Tonight's the night where you can break all of those things holding you back in your own mind, right? Where you can break you haven't beaten a good above 500 team the entire time. And if you do break that, I'm going to tell you this right now. There's talent on this team. And as weird as it is, the matchup of the Bulls and the Bucks is probably, now listen, it's not the matchup I wanted. It's not the easiest matchup. But as far as how the Bucks play defense on you, it's probably the matchup that suits the Bulls best, because the Bucks are willing to just give you three-point shots. You just got to knock them down. They're going to give you shots from 20 and out. You just got to knock them down. If the Bulls get a win tonight, that win could be big enough to propel them to 2 wins at home, 100%. It would break the mindset that's holding them back. It would break the mindset that's holding them back. Now, I don't think that, not to say that they're going to come out and they're going to dub it up, right? All of a sudden they're killing the Milwaukee Bucks at home. But you can see it right now. They're tense, they're tight, they're not playing the same way. A win tonight could be enough to propel you to mentally break the shackles that are holding you back. To the point that, hey, we can beat these teams. Hey, we can beat Giannis. Sometimes it takes one win. Sometimes it takes just seeing the ball going in. Sometimes there's something about just seeing the ball start to fall for you, and all of a sudden the floodgates open, right? Remember how they were shooting earlier? They were knocking threes down left and right. All of a sudden, playing those tougher teams, they're playing a little bit better defense on you, right? You're not knocking those threes down as much. They're closing out on you. Are the Bucks closing out on us? Not really. But it's like, it's almost like, right, this is a crazy analogy to put to this. It's almost like, have y'all ever seen that thing where like how they train an elephant to stay on a rope? They tie the foot up when it's a baby, and it's like this huge, it's essentially a huge chain, a huge rope, and the elephant's not strong enough to break through it when he's a baby. Shout out to Matt Tate holding this like. They just keep upping it and upping it and upping it as the baby gets bigger, and it's never able to break the chain. Eventually, the baby stops trying. And there's this little bitty rope on it. And it's holding back this 15-ton animal. I feel like I overestimated elephants on that one. I got to relook up the weight on that. I think they 2 tons. I don't know. 2,000 pounds. That sounds about right. That's the Bulls right now. I've seen Zach Levine shoot threes. I know he can shoot them well. Seen Kobe White shoot threes. I know he can shoot them well. I've seen DeMar DeRozan's mid-range. I know that it's lethal. I've seen Vooch shoot 38%. I know he can do it. Up here. Game 2 is that big for you. Game 2 can open up the floodgates. Game 2 can be the game that changes everything for you moving forward, and you have to get this game. Play this game like you're getting eliminated tonight. This should feel like an elimination game to the Bulls. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. You go down 0-2 coming back to Chicago, yeah, you've got the hometown feel. Yes, you do play well here at home. There's always the possibility of tying the series up, right? That possibility is still there, but I mean, realistically, you're going to feel, if you thought you were pressing now, you're going to be pressing twice as much there in that situation. Let's get into this game, man. Let's look at what we got coming in tonight. I know there was some concern from people that Caruso might have been injured. Looking at the injury report tonight, only people out is Lonzo Ball and Matt Thomas. By the way, what the heck happened to Matt Thomas? Now, listen, I'm not saying I want to see him out there on the court. Maybe in that last game, I'd like to see somebody that can knock down a three. But what happened to him? Like, I never even saw him get hurt, and then, like, he was just done forever. How the heck did he get hurt? How the heck did he get up out of it? What happened to Matt Thomas, dog? I don't know. On the Bucks side, George Hill out tonight with an abdomen. Here's a big one. Now it's the playoffs. I don't know. But Bobby Portis is a game time decision tonight with a calf injury. They've still got a ton of size on their side, but that does make a difference. That does make a difference. They've still got a ton of size. It's not like they're going to come out and they're going to be, we're not going to be able to play big without Bobby Portis down there. But you know what? Him coming off of the bench, having that shooting ability, they still got Serge Ibaka there, who can shoot, who can play, but not with that same level of motor that Bobby Portis brings, that engine that Bobby Portis brings. And that makes a difference if he can't go. Now, it's the playoffs. I will say this. It's the playoffs. If there's any shot Bobby Portis can go, I guarantee you he's going to punch somebody in the face and say, let me go. Yeah, I'm saying, like, he's not going to sit out if there's an option here. Bobby Portis is going to play. Let's not cap on that. How do we keep them down? Bulls did a good job in game one, right? The Bulls did a really good job defensively in game one. I like how they came out. I like how they attacked the Bucks. I need to see that same intensity off rip, right? The other thing is what brought that intensity? Hey, listen, Caruso, I love the energy you gave me. I love the defensive energy you gave me. I love to see what he did on the court out there. And you need him out there, right? Because these are the moments where you need those guys that are going to calm you down. These are the moments where you need those guys that, hey, listen, but we're okay. We're here. We're in this situation. We're okay. This is what you need tonight. But I also need you to be productive on the other end of the floor. I get he's got the wrist. And they're going to give him that three-point shot. I understand he's got the wrist injury. They're going to give him that three-point shot. It just is what it is, right? But you have to find a way to be effective on the offensive end. If the three-point shot ain't it, finding somebody else who's open for the three-point shot. If your wrist ain't cooperating, which, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the big thing for tonight. I need to see this Bulls team absolutely understanding that it's not about your personal accolade. And not to say Caruso doesn't. Hey, I think Caruso's the main guy that probably does, but it's not about what your personal numbers are. It's not about what you're getting done tonight. It's not about how you play tonight. It's about if the Bulls come out of this thing with a win. It's about if the Bulls come out of this game with a win. That's what it is. I want to see that same level of intensity on defense that we saw. Because here's the thing, right? There's some games when that last game the Bulls played versus the Milwaukee Bucks, not the playoff, the game before that, right? They just knocked down shots. They just knocked down their shots. I watched that game again. The Bulls played excellent defense. You know what happened? Chris Middleton, cash. Drew Holiday, cash. Over the hands. Didn't matter. The hands were there. It didn't matter. That could absolutely happen in a game like this. They're ready. They had that week off. Shooting was a little off in that situation. They were turning the ball over a little bit. A lot of it. Got to play those lanes. And you know what the difference was? You know what the difference was? Biggest difference. Who was playing defense? Who was being aggressive? By the way, 69 people in here, 24 likes, man. If y'all could
Push the
just...
button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
push that like button for me, man. Who was playing defense? It wasn't just Alex Caruso, right? Caruso's going to play D. We know that. We know Caruso. It wasn't Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams was going to play D. Zach Levine was getting in on it. Excellent rotations, crisp rotations. We weren't leaving. There was a couple times we left a couple of guys open out there, right? But it wasn't an entire game of like, yo, why the heck is that man in the corner wide open? We weren't talking about that all night, right? That was more of a, hey, listen, we're doing some good things here. We're rotating. We missed a couple, but it was Zach Levine. It was DeMar DeRozan playing the lanes, getting the steals. DeMar DeRozan coming up behind Giannis, snatching the ball out of his hand, taking off on a fast break. Here's the other thing I need to see from the Bulls. Listen, do not let them set up their half-court offense. We keep doing this. Or half-court defense, I should say. We keep doing this. We keep doing this. I would see us get a steal. We had 21 turnovers. We'd get a steal. We start heading the other direction. And we stop. We dribble for a second. Let them get set. What the heck are we letting them get set for? They're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Go. You want to know when this team was most deadly? When Derrick Jones Jr. was most deadly? When Javonte Green was most deadly? When Zach Levine was most deadly? When Lonzo Ball was snatching that mug on a steal, pushing the ball up the court super quick. Full court pass if he needed to. And you had defenses on their heels. When you got guys backpedaling, that's when, and that's why I want to see. Listen, I told y'all last time, got to see Zach Levine being more aggressive. Told y'all yesterday on the show, you got to see Zach Levine being more aggressive, right? Because it puts defenses on their heels. You can do so much, and there's so much action off of that. There's so much that can happen from that. It puts them out of position. But if you allow them to get set, whether Bobby Portis is playing for not, that's Giannis down there. You saw the few times the Bulls allowed him to get set and they tried to attack the bucket. What happened? Zach Levine gets blocked. He falls to the floor. DeMar DeRozan gets blocked. He falls to the floor. It's just not going to get the job done. I need to see more from this team as a whole. I need to see more from of course, from DeMar DeRozan, from Zach Levine. Honestly, more from Vooch. Not to say he didn't have a good game. He was the engine for us. Keep doing what you did. But in this game, too, listen, we brought you here because you were 38% from the three-point line. I think he was shooting 40 in Orlando at one point. You got to be able to knock down that shot. I'm sorry. They're giving it to you. They're handing it to you. And I know there's a lot of people that sit there and they're like, Vooch, hey, why are you shooting that like that, bro? But that's what happens when you allow them to get set. That's the difference in your offense. You want Vooch to stop shooting those threes like that? We need to see this Bulls team running. When they put the pressure on them and they don't allow them to get set in the half court, it does a lot to that defense. You saw Memphis doing that the other day versus Minnesota. Memphis is a very fast-paced, fast-break offense. This Bulls team needs to be a fast-break offense. At one point, we led the NBA in pace of play. Now, I'm not saying Vooch shouldn't be out there taking threes. I'm not saying Zach shouldn't be out there taking threes. I'm not saying that Kobe shouldn't be out there taking threes. But you know what? When you snatch that ball off the board and you take off the other way, it forces them to have to run with you. It puts their defense in a position. Now, you got to be able to play it, though. And you can't be running out to the three-point line. That's why I love seeing what Zach Levine did with DeMar DeRozan during that game. I love that. DeMar runs out to the three-point line on a cut. Zach Levine's down there with two guys on him. DeMar wants to pass out. Zach tells him, no, cut with me. I can get you the ball. Cut with me. Tonight is Zach's night. If tonight's not Zach's night, we might be in trouble. If tonight is not Zach's night, we might be in trouble. Not to say I don't want to see DeMar cooking. But if tonight's not Zach's night, we might be in trouble. Zach Levine is so key to the Bulls' success. I talked about it yesterday. He's so key to what this Bulls team wants to do. Because what he does well, the Bucks allow. They give up the most three-pointers out of anybody, and they have the most three-pointers made on them out of anybody in the NBA. You got to be that guy tonight. And here's the thing I don't want to see. I don't want to see Zach Levine trying to let everybody else get going because he knows he can get it going later. No, you go. I told y'all, playoffs is where your name is made. I told y'all on Locked On, I've told y'all on here. Playoffs is where your name is made. It's time for Zach Levine to make a name. It's time for Zach Levine to make a name. And I get the reason behind it, right? Hey, listen, I know I can get myself going. But for us to win, we need Vooch to get going. But for us to win, we need DeMar to get going. But for us to win, we need Kobe to get going. I understand the logic behind it. I love the confidence. But you know what? The Bulls need you to get going for them to get going. It's not the same team you had last year. I feel like Zach's dealing with a little PTSD out here. It's not the same team you had last year, brother. It's not. Last year's team, yeah, you got to get Denzel Valentine going. You got to get Wendell Carter going. You got to get Larry Markkinen going because when they're going, you know you can get a dub. And Zach Levine knows in the fourth quarter he's going to get all the shots he wants. This ain't that team no more. We're in a better place. You could be aggressive to start the game off. You know why? Because you're not the only scorer on this team anymore. You got to prove tonight. This is your time to prove tonight. And I'll tell you this right now. You get a win tonight, you build that confidence, you build that mentality up going into game 3, coming into UC, you got it rocking. Nobody else got it rocking. Zach Levine got it rocking. And I respect Zach for the way he plays. I do. I respect Zach for saying, hey, listen, what's going to get me a dub? What's going to get me to the playoffs? What's going to get me to the next level? I respect that. But it's not going to work versus the world champion. The Milwaukee Bucks play too well on the defensive end when you allow them to set up. They have too much length. Yeah, they're going to give up the three. Guess what? We shot 19% in the first game. Whether we shoot better than that or not, they're probably going to shoot better than that as well. Even if you've got hands in their face. Like, listen, I would love to tell you coming into the night that I think the Bulls defense is going to be too suffocating for the Milwaukee Bucks to deal with. I would love to tell you that. But is that the reality of the situation? I've seen the Bulls play suffocating defense and the Bucks be able to knock it down. Chris Mid is mid. For what reason? Because some games he's great, some games he's mid. You never know what you're going to get. Guess what? You got your mid game in game one. I don't expect him to have that same game here in game two. Drew Holiday struggling in the post. We haven't seen that much. Now, that could be a situation where because it's Caruso on him and not Ayo Dosunmu, starts off a little bit different. I actually like that switch up by Billy Donovan in that situation. I think that's the good move to go to, especially with the young fella. You want to build some confidence in him as well. You don't want him out here just getting cooked left and right, and he's getting killed in the playoffs. And you don't want to get Drew Holiday going early. Nothing changed. This thing starts at the defensive end. Whether they're knocking down their shots, and here's the thing, right? What did we see in that last game? They were knocking down their shots. You weren't knocking down yours, so the defensive intensity started to lax. We can't see that. You're not good enough to see that. We're not to that point where we can see that. Oh, we got to take a little bit off on the defense so that we can get it going on the offensive end. No, you got to keep that intensity up. Because if they beat you and you got a hand in their face and they shoot at 60+%, guess what? That means they're the better team. That means you went up against the world champions and they put it on your head. Do I like it? No. Do I understand it? Yes. This game starts on the defensive end. I don't know if you can replicate 20+ turnovers again. I don't think the Bucks will come out that sloppy in this second game. I just don't. I feel like the Bulls got a lot of opportunities, and we did see the Bucks kind of dribbling it off their legs a little bit, but the Bulls did an excellent job playing the passing lanes. Here's the thing. If you can get 15+, if you can get around 15 turnovers out of this Bucks team and keep yours low, we're moving in the right direction. I feel good about that. I feel good about our chances in this game. That's going to be key. And the biggest part that we didn't do, that we need to do, you got to capitalize off of them. What did we end up with? Thinking that game one, let me double check here. By the way, White Sox doubleheader today. They had 21+ turnovers. We had 15 points. We had 11 turnovers. They had 14. "21 turnovers. You got to capitalize off of that. And that's why I say you can't allow them to get set. You can't allow them to set up in the middle. You can't allow them to set up their defense. You get that ball, you take off. There was a lot of times Bulls got the ball. Hey, we got it. Let's go. Let's slow the game down. No, don't slow the game down. I don't want to see this game slow down. I want to see you attacking. I want to see you going. And for me, right, because Caruso's not really that guy. Caruso's the methodical guy. He's not gonna take off up the court. We saw Kobe White do it a little bit. But who's that guy? Zach Levine had 10 rebounds, and how many times did he grab it, kick it out? I love what you did on the boards in that game, Zach. Take that mug. Don't pass it to Io. Don't pass it to Caruso. Don't pass it to Debo. Take that mug. That's an opportunity for you to put the Bucks defense on their heels. That's an opportunity for you to get the Bucks defense going the wrong way. Take that mug. Let's go. Let's keep it cracking, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up and rocking with me this morning, man. We're going to keep it pushing. We're going to keep breaking down these Bulls, man, getting to specifics of the game. Appreciate y'all for showing love. If you guys can't stick around for the whole show, man, make sure you tune in on the Contender. Listen live on the Contender. You can hear nonstop sports talk while you're on the clock. You can hear me on the go. Shout out to my boy Ringo as well, man. Ringo ain't here, man. Had a little doctor's appointment today. Believe he got a clean bill of health. I saw him in the chat a little bit, man. So shout out to Ringo for pulling up on us, man. I love this time of year, dog. This is the time, bro. This is the time. There's so much going on around the NBA. And we're getting ready for football coming up. And we got baseball on the docket. And hockey's in it. Blackhawks. But we got a ton of content coming y'all way, man. I was up last night till 4 a.m. editing, recording. So we got a couple videos. We should have, we got 3 videos, I think, coming y'all way today. By the way, hey, you know what? Quick detour. Because y'all keep sending me these guys and keep sending them to me, please. Send them to me on Twitter. The guys you want me to look at for draft breakdown. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm not going to tell y'all who it is. But there's absolutely a player that I watched last night that, boy, if the Bears got a chance to take him in the second round, if he fall that far, y'all wait for the video. The video's dropping on that one at 3, I believe. The video's dropping on that one at 3, I believe. Man, nah, it ain't Chris Olave. I don't even think I watched his tape because to me, Chris Olave, I don't think there's any chance he falls to us. But man, look, this boy a dog. Also at 2, we're going to be dropping, I'm going to have my 3 keys to a Bulls victory as well in game 2. 3 specific things that I think they need to key in on. Rage in what position? He'll wide out. And that's if the Bears go wide out. I kind of said that in the video too. I'm like, if the Bears go wide out, that's a game-changing player. I don't know if they will. They might go defense the whole time. I got to start looking at some of these DBs. I had somebody on Twitter send me a couple of DBs, so I got to check them out as well, man. So we're gonna have a lot of content coming y'all way, man. I'm trying to get back up to the point where I'm posting like 3 videos a day. I'll tell you this though, y'all remember this? Y'all remember how like I used to post, bro? And it's wild to me. I realized this yesterday. Shout out to all if you got kids in here, Y'all, they can confirm this, right? I used to go to work at 6 a.m., which meant I had to be up at 5. And I was doing this show. So it meant I had to be up at 4 to record my video that I was going to drop at noon. My video that I was going to drop at noon, I would edit throughout the day at work. And then on the other side of it, I would come home, I would record a video if we didn't have a Bulls game that night. And then if we had a Bulls game, I would record it. No, I would record a video even if we had a Bulls game that night. If we didn't have a Bulls game that night, I would record another video. I used to drop 3 videos a day. We was killing it on the content. Hey, Raging, that's a fact. I was exhausted, right? But this is what's wild. Since I've had my daughter, bro, it's hard to drop 2 videos, including the daily one. I'm working more than I was doing a full-time job just trying to be home and raise my daughter. That's crazy. That's crazy to me, bro. I realized that yesterday and I was like, dog, I had no idea. I had no idea. Shout out to all the parents out there, man. Shout out to all the dads that's out here raising these babies out here. Bro, I'm talking about, I'm sitting here, I'm looking around, and it's literally like, I'll be sitting on the couch with her. I'm just like, oh, I'm just holding her right now. I can do something. Like back in the day, bro, I used to be working, literally posting, responding to y'all comments. Dog, doing so much stuff all at once. Now, if I'm holding my baby, it's like, bro, I'm holding the baby. Like, what you want me? Like, I still might respond to some of y'all comments, bro. But like, and that's why my fault if I'm not responding to as many comments as I used to. Y'all know I used to get every single comment. But dog, like that, I ain't realized nothing. Bro. You ever had that moment where you just understand your parents instantly? You know what I'm saying? You ever had that moment where you just like, you got to call your mom up and be like, my bad. Hey, listen. Remember that time I was on the roof in the 4th grade and you was like, why you on the roof? And you had to come home from work? That's my bad. Hold up. We got breaking news in here. Shout out Baki, always hitting us with the tweet. Let's get the woo! We got spicy news. Per Jeff Darlington, Deebo Samuel has requested a trade. He did not want to discuss the specific reasons behind his request, but he has indeed let the 49ers know his desire to leave the organization. Hey, Bears, y'all get up on that. Hey, man. That's crazy. What happened? Who's racist? The only time something like this happened, bro, is when you find out 10 years later down the line, bro, somebody done hit him with an N-word. Dog, come on, bro. What's going on at the 49ers, bro? Now, here's the thing. I say get on that. We have nothing to get on it with. That's the problem, dog. Shout out to you, Ryan Pace. I mean, dog, like that's one of those, bro, where it's like, now I'm like completely intrigued. I'm like, what the heck is going on? That's the last tweet too. Now I'm completely intrigued here. Shout out, okay, Ian Rappaport on top of it as well. He quoted the tweet here. He says the trade request came in more than a week ago, and the 49ers have been aware of Debo's feelings for a while. This is why there have been no talks. Hey, Rap be cracking me up, bro. Rap be cracking me up. Rap be Hey, Rappaport be tweeting these like he'll quote another reporter's tweet just to throw in his little dig on it and be like, oh, by the way, I knew this already. I just didn't even put it out there. I ain't had nothing to do with it. I ain't had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I knew this already. I knew this. I wasn't worried about it. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's funny. That's interesting, dog. That's very interesting. That's a game changer right there. Where does he go now? I don't know if the Bears have enough to get Debo in the building. I'm not gonna lie to you. Debo, no, hey, you know what? Now I know, to be honest with you, I know we don't have enough to get Debo in the building. Tyreek set the market on that. Not to say that Debo's the same level as Tyreek, but like top wide receivers. That's pretty crazy. Where does he end up out here? Who does he fit best with? He's such a dynamic player. Cleveland? Debo to Cleveland? I can see Debo to Cleveland. It's not about being able to afford him, dog. It's a trade. I see people talking about we have $122 million, we can afford him. It's a trade. I'm not saying we can't pay him. We don't have enough to go get him. It's not about cap space. But you have to have a deal on the table that the 49ers want to take for us to get the player in. I understand how the trade machine sets things up, y'all, but they don't want Eddie Jackson. Eddie actually might make too much money for that deal. Like, I'm here for it, right? I'm here for it if we get him on next season, right? Because it's the last year of his contract. I'm here for it if we can get him next season. Let him go play somewhere else this season. We ain't ready to win anyway. You come in the next season, all of a sudden, hey, we're I bet the Packers wish they had waited now. I bet the Packers wish the 49ers ones ain't sending them to the Packers. I tell you that right now. The 49ers absolutely ain't sending them to the Packers. He's probably going to the AFC. But yeah, I don't think you like in a trade deal, right? Like I don't want to, you know what? I don't want to trade draft capital for him anymore. I don't want to get rid of draft capital for guys like that no more. Right? Like that's one of those where like that in the NFL is different. And I get that the recent teams have kind of won by making a big splash trade, but the NFL is so different from the NBA. The NFL is so completely different from the NBA. You need those draft pieces to be successful. You need those draft pieces to build your team. Even if it's not the superstar guys, you have to find those glue guys. Baki with the update as always. Shout out to Baki. I'm done giving credit to these to the reporters that's actually tweeting this stuff out. I'm more so giving credit to Baki because Baki be on top of it for the show. Shout out Baki. Latest tweet from Baki per Ian Rappaport. Money is not the root of the issue for Deebo Samuel. Otherwise, that could be fixed with a big offer. But there are also issues with how he was used. So maybe he don't like playing the double role. Maybe he don't like playing the running back and wide out role. Interesting. Very interesting in that sense, right? Because every team that's, I mean, be honest, like if you go get Deebo Samuel, you want Deebo Samuel for the way they used him, right? Like, what does he want? Does he just want to be a wideout? Does he just want to be a wideout in this case? Or does he just want to be a running back? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Because now it's weird. Now it's like, all right, well, if you don't want to be used, like you get him to use him that way, right? I don't get Deebo Samuel just to be a wideout, which he probably could. He's probably going to be a great wideout. The most hilarious thing would be if like the Rams get him, right? It'd just be like, how do they keep adding? Fam, I don't know who's over at the Rams, by the way, but shout out to that guy. When I tell you the Rams literally every single day find a new way to get some star player in there for like a 4th round pick and a used donut. And then they trade that star player for a 1st round pick. I don't know how that mess be working, dog. But shout out to them, man. Let's keep it pushing, man. That's crazy. That's crazy news. It's crazy, but now it's like, dog, why would I trade for you if I'm not gonna be, you know what though? I say this. If we being real, right? What's better for his career? That's probably what it is. What's better for his career? Because all that running back stuff, listen, all that running back stuff ain't good for your career. I don't care what nobody say. You get beat the heck up, you're not the same player in 5 years. Everybody's freaking out now. Everybody on Twitter's freaking out now. Deebo, what's out? Oh, God. What are we going to do? Hey, Renewable, that's a fact. Rams out here doing Madden trades, bro. That's a fact. The Rams out here doing Madden trades. It's always wild, too, bro. It's like, how do you even pull this off? How do you make, what team works best with him? What team works best with him? If he's playing, right, like you almost have to ask what position he wants to play. That's the part you don't know. What position does he want to play? Does he want to play wide receiver? Does he want to play running back? What does he want to be? Because if he only wants to be a wide receiver, there's a lot of teams that he fits with. If he only wants to be a running back, where does he go, right? And I guess you got that running back that you can put out wide if you're playing 5 wide, you know what I'm saying? But, man, what's going on at the Niners, dog? Everybody want out of there. That's crazy. And this is why you got to keep, listen, this is why you got to keep your draft picks. Things like that, that's why you got to keep your draft picks. You never know what people are going to do. You never know what people are going to do. And when all of a sudden you're like, hey, where'd my wide receiver go? He doesn't want to be here anymore. Yeah, you can get picks back. But is it going to be that same value? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be able to find that same value of player? I guess the good thing is, right, like if you're going to trade Debo, this is the best draft to trade him. And the problem is now for the Bears, this is what changes things for the Bears before we get back into some NBA. This is what changes things for the Bears in this situation. Now, there's another team that's going to be in the wide receiver market. And that's the part that hurts you. You didn't think San Francisco was going to be in that receiver market this upcoming offseason. Unless they get a receiver back, but I'm assuming you're probably giving it for picks. Now you've got somebody else in the receiver market for you that's sitting ahead of you. That could cut down you possibly getting your guy, right? That's tough. Because, man, I'm telling y'all, if this, bro, be tuned in at 3. We got a bunch of content. I got a video dropping at 2. I got a video dropping at 3. And I think we got a video dropping at 4. I'm telling y'all, if this receiver drops to us, game changer, bro. Whole different level. Let's keep it pushing, though, man. Let's keep it going. Let's get back into some NBA, man. Because while the Debo news is crazy, it's playoffs, baby. Woo! Hey, but before we do that, I gotta tell you about a little company, man, that has joined up with us and is sponsoring us right here. Let me tell you a little bit about Blue Chew. It's time to dig yourself out of that winter hibernation. Spring is here, fellas, and it's time to get sprung with Blue Chew. That's right. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. Had a homie back in the day hit me up, say, yo, Pat, what's good? See you killing the show. You're doing some great things. Listen, gotta chop it up with you, though, man. I got this issue. I don't really want to go to the doc about it, though. I told him, bro, listen, I already heard. I know about it. Don't worry about it. Let me tell you right now. Sign up at bluechew.com. The process is simple. You consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made right here in the US of A. And so guess what? They're prepared and shipped direct to your door in discreet packages real quick. So here's the thing, y'all. If you could benefit from a little extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help with that. And we've got a special deal for our listeners today. Try Blue Chew free with the promo code Windy City at checkout. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's bluechew.com. Promo code Windy City to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show. Let's get back into it. As kids in the chat, shout out to the pettiest man alive in the building. Hey man, this conversation mad discreet. We keeping it cool out here, brother. NBA, what we saw in the playoffs last night. Clap it up with Blue Chew. Hey, you wildin', dog. That's hilarious. Saw some dope basketball last night, right? Me and Kid were going at it. Dog, this is the thing, right? When me and Kid get on opposite ends of a debate, there's logic still there, but it's more so just talking as much trash as possible. It's more so just talking as much trash as possible. It gets aggressive when me and Kid are on opposite ends of the debate. Right? That for us has been Ja Morant going head up against Anthony Edwards. The Memphis Grizzlies going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's been on the Anthony Edwards side. I'm a Ja Morant guy. Y'all already know how I get down. And in last night's game, Memphis absolutely went to work on the Minnesota Timberwolves. In last night's game, dog, it really showed me, and at least for me, right? It really showed me that one, Anthony Edwards is really good even on a bad night. And two, Cat ain't that dude. Game one, Cat comes out killing it. Love it. Here we go. Let's keep it going. Boom, boom. We eating. We out here. We killing it. Cat ain't that dude. Not in the playoffs. There's some dudes that's built for 82. But you can't give me a 5 turnover, 5 foul game. Did get 15 and 11, but hey, you already know. That's not the recipe for success in that team. And I will say this. Here's the thing. Shout out. You know who I give the most credit to in that game we saw last night? Steven Adams. Not for anything he did on the court, but for the fact that he's like, hey, look, this ain't my game. Y'all gotta make a whole new, not a whole new thing, but like, I know I've been playing this. I know I was supposed to be on him. I can't keep up with him. That sacrifice to win. That as a Bulls fan, that's what I want to see. Not the minutes thing, but that's what I want to see from Debo. I want to see that winning means more than anything else. I want to see that when my coach comes to me and says, hey, we're going to put Jaren on him, we're going to make these adjustments, you might not play that much this day. When an adjustment comes that doesn't put you at the focal point of being in the game, hey, whatever we got to do to get a dub out here, baby. Whatever we got to do to get a dub out here. And the problem is, right, as good as Anthony Edwards is now, the Minnesota Timberwolves did an excellent job on Edwards last night. He ended up having 5 turnovers. Couldn't really get his shot going throughout the night. We know normally he's able to make those tough shots with a hand in his face. I mean, they were all over him. I think he shot one off the top of the backboard. Yeah, I'm saying for a 24-second. Like, he just had some tough times last night. It happens. It's the playoffs. It's his first playoff. I'm not expecting him to be God every single night. I think he's going to have a bright future. I think he's going to be a dog in this NBA. And I think him and Ja Morant in the playoffs is going to be fun for a long time to come. But here's the thing. Kat, you've been here before. Kat, you've done this before. If anything, this is your playoff to prove it. If anything, this is your playoffs to prove it. And the thing is, right, like if we could say, like it's a difference, right, when you can say, hey, The refs are hosing me on these calls. I'm missing these. They're not what's the word? They're not calling this evenly. You know what I'm saying? We kind of saw that, Giannis over the back. By the way, I didn't say it today. And listen, even though we got more calls in that game one, I'm gonna tell you this right here, heading into game two. You ain't gonna get them calls. You ain't gonna get them calls. It's okay, Bulls fans. It's okay. We're gonna be upset about them together. We're gonna be upset about them together. But this is the thing. Cat be doing so much extra stuff to foul. Cat be making it obvious. Cat be doing obvious fouls and then got the nerve to look up and be like, wait a minute, me? Fam, when Cat, when they hit Cat with the offensive foul on the jump shot, Cat goes up for a jump shot, bro, for a three. I don't think it didn't go in anyway. He was off all night anyway. Cat went up for a three. And like pulled up, but then like Jordan logoed the leg. I was like, what are you doing? What are you're 7 feet tall. Do you think they don't see you? Do you think they don't see this gigantic leg coming out to the side as you trip somebody trying to draw a foul? You're not Reggie Miller, brother. They took that rule away already. And by the way, you're the biggest dude on the court. There's a couple things with Cat's game that like last night, I feel like there was a lot of just mental mistakes on Cat. But there's a couple things with Cat's game where like you kind of feel like if he doesn't tweak his game, he's never going to be able to get there. Like when he drives to the bucket and absolutely just plows through people. Like we see Giannis do that as well. But for me, the difference between Giannis is Giannis has the ball here, right? When he's going through. So the whole time, if you're hitting him, he's in his shooting motion. If you're smacking down, he's in his shooting motion. With Cat tucked that mug like he a running back and try to, and then be surprised when they call an offensive foul on him. It like blows my mind. It blows my mind every time I see it, man. And then once they start, it's almost like once they start piling up, right? He's not able to stop. And he's the key. You saw in game one. Cat is the key to their success. In game one, Cat absolutely went ballistic. Now, granted, they had Steven Adams guarding him. I told y'all, by the way, must be like, Pat, you don't know what you talk about. Hey, yeah, I'm finna toot my own horn. They be like, Pat, you don't know what you talk about. You don't watch NBA like that. You don't watch basketball like that. You don't know how basketball works. Yeah, all right. Let's have this conversation. What I say the first thing? The dumbest thing you can do is play Steven Adams on him in the corner. I'd have had Jaren on him, and I'd have had Steven Adams under the bucket. What'd they do? Nah, I didn't expect them to just sit him down. I thought just have Steven Adams under the bucket. But good Lord. Come on now. But it's just wild to see, bro. It's like seeing Cat play. It's like, fam, I almost hope he's better. I want him to be better. But it's just such a you have to tweak. You have to tweak the things that you do that have become habit forming. And now you're not like when you start to struggle, right? You start to see him do those things. It's like I said with the Bulls. The things you do, you fall back on. The things that you become repetitive with, you fall back on. Hey, I want the Bulls to knock down shots. I want them to have ball movement. They're starting to struggle a little bit. What do? ISO ball. Wow, that's not going to work. Right? With Cat, it's like, it's weird to say, right? Because he's got like, I'm the best shooting big man in the NBA. I'm that dude. Stop playing with me. And instead of like being the shooting big man that's cashing it in Muggs' face that we've seen all season, when he gets into these moments, he wants to prove that he's like too tough for you. Like he hears the, hey, he's Charmin, he's too soft. He's like he hears the comments. And so his goal is to prove that he's tougher than you. So what's he do with that? I'm going to run through you. I don't need you to prove to me that you're tough. I need you to prove to me that you can win. You know how you prove to me that you're good in the playoffs? By winning them. That's what I don't want to see from like that's my one fear about the Bulls in this situation, right? I feel like the stigma of DeMar trying to get off of the name DeMar DeFrozen that he got out in Toronto, and then coming out in this playoff series and not having a good showing. I believe they made the playoffs once in San Antonio, right? Or the play-in. Did they make the playoffs there? I think they made the playoffs in San Antonio, right? And, he didn't have a great showing there either. His playoff averages aren't great either. But I don't need you to prove to me that your playoff averages can be great. I need you to prove to me that you can win. You're on the best team you probably ever played on. Shout out to y'all. Yeah, they lost in the first round to the Nuggets. Yeah, facts. Yeah. He made it that first year, right? He's on the best team he's probably ever played on. Move the ball around. You don't have to prove that whatever stigma's on you isn't true if you win. They said Chris Bosh was soft. Chris Bosh is too soft down there. He's a weak power forward. He's not that good. Yeah, all right. He a Hall of Famer. He got them rings. And guess what? When they thought he was done and he was too soft, Chris Bosh came back and absolutely them numbers went right back up. When Brown was gone and Wade was gone and Bosh was the only one left, I'm still cooking. I still got it. But I wanted to win. You know how many players have done that, dog? Kid in here. Who's the dude we always talk about on Detroit, bro? I can't think of his name. He was somebody that absolutely was a bucket. Let me see here. It would have been the 89 roster. Mark Aguirre. Bro, y'all want to know Mark Aguirre numbers? Mark Aguirre, before he went to the Pistons, he was on the Mavericks. 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, playing 33 minutes a game. Came to the Pistons in 88, 15 points a game. Won a championship in 89, 14 points a game. Won a championship in 90, 14 points a game. You think all of a sudden he forgot to how to play basketball? He forgot how to be talented? Think all of a sudden he couldn't play? No, he wanted to win. When you want to win, sometimes you got to make sacrifices. And that don't mean the whole time. It don't mean you can't have your moment. Debo probably will have a moment in these playoffs, but you know what? That moment needs to be in line with a win. Cat can have his moment in the playoffs. Cat had a moment in the playoffs already. That first game, what did he get? 29 and 12? He was absolutely cooking the Memphis Grizzlies. 29 and 13. Shot 11 for 18. He was 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 1 block. He had a moment. I don't need you to prove to me that you're the tough guy. I don't need you to prove to me that you can go down there and bang with anybody. Who cares? If you can't, you can't. You know why? Because I know that you can torch him from the three-point line. Best shooting big in the NBA, Mr. Self-proclaimed. But I'll tell you this, he's got the numbers to back it up. The playoffs ain't about everybody being great every single time. LeBron James won a championship in Cleveland. Kyrie Irving had his moment. You think Kyrie was complaining at the ring ceremony about, oh man, wish I'd done more? He got to cook as well because he was in that position to do it. It's about getting yourself in the position to do it and not to the detriment of the team. It's about getting yourself in a position to do it while not being to the detriment of the team. Because you know what? If you got 50 and a loss, who cares? You got 50, you lost. Who cares? If Debo goes for 50 tonight, dope. We saw Debo go for 50 in the playoffs. Lost by 5. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? We passed that point in your career. The losing crazy scoring games, right? DeMar DeRozan is kind of there. Or not DeMar DeRozan. Zach Levine is kind of there, right? Like if Zach Levine snap off tonight and the Bulls lose just because the team is better, we feel good about that. Why? Because Zach Levine's going to be here for another 5-10 years. Hopefully. Right? Like that's a different, like at the age DeMar is 32. Hey, brother, you here for a good time, not a long time. You know, There's some players that they're all about, oh, I had to prove them wrong. I got to prove. You know what proves mugs wrong? Winning. Winning proves people wrong. You know what the biggest stigma on DeMar DeRozan is? Can't get it done in the ECF to get to the finals. Guess what? If you don't get through this round, you ain't going to get to the ECF. Hey, Renewable is hilarious with that. He said Kyrie is P Kids Blue Chew. Hey, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious, bro. That was pretty funny. Shout out to Crit in the chat. What's good, Crit? I got the DeMar DeRozan. Hey, y'all can tell I'm Chicago till I die. I got the DeMar DeRozan from Cat. How I do that? How the heck I get there, man? Hey, but listen. The player we really got to talk about in that whole thing. The player we really got to talk about in that whole thing. Come on now. Stop playing with my boy. Stop playing with my boy. That boy John Moran is a problem. And I don't care what nobody say. He got too much dog in him. He got too much of that dog in him. He sacrificed scoring last night. Everybody was like, "Oh, he ain't gonna get there. They gonna shut that down. They gonna shut that down in the paint. He ain't gonna be able to get them driving lanes." Oh, okay, that's cool. Still shot 9 for 16, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. Everybody eats, B. Everybody eats, B. What we talking about? Ja Moran is that dude, bro. And it's such a encouraging thing to see him coming up the way he is. I'm seeing people talking about he shouldn't have got 6th man of the year, or he shouldn't have got most improved player. Have y'all seen what he did? That was J Mart. Shout out J Mart if you in here, man. He was like, Jordan Poole should have got most improved player. Are you crazy right now? No disrespect to Jordan Poole. He's balling this season. He absolutely improved his game. I salute you, my brother. I went Stephen A. Smith on that. It really is all love to him. But the jump that Ja took this year is crazy. Let me pull this up here. And it's not just the talent, it's the talent with the IQ. It's the talent with the understanding of the moment. In his first 2 years, he went from 17 points per game to 19 points per game. Didn't really up his assists at all. Rebounds pretty much stayed the same. Steals stayed the same. Blocks stayed the same. From year 2 to year 3, Ja Morant went to 27 points per game on 50% shooting. He shot 45% the year before. He's upped his three-point percentage to 34%, which is still pretty low for a guard. But he knocked down 2 of them mugs last night. Stop playing with him. He's up to 6 rebounds a game, 7 assists a game, 1.2 steals per game, and the blocks are about the same. And that's not most improved player. What are we talking about right now? What conversation we even having right now? Come on, dog. And the crazy part is, listen, I fully believe this team could go head up with anybody. Because there's a bunch of players that do things really well, and then there's Ja. There's a bunch of players that do things really well, and then there's Ja. I.e., the Denver Nuggets, but with Ja. You know what I'm saying, dog? Like they got a shot to do something special this season. They got a shot to do something real special this season. I'm excited to see what they're gonna be, man. I really am. I really am. Looking at the other game, man. Hey, I told y'all. I told Ringo, you listen. I told you. Them Hawks ain't gonna be an easy out. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's also scary about the Heat, right? We're gonna say this while Ringo ain't here. I think the thing that's also scary about the Heat is that, like, they need somebody to have that crazy game for them every single time, right? They need somebody to have that crazy game for them every single time, and they almost always have somebody have it. Jimmy Butler last night, 45 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 4 for 7 from the three-point line, 15 for 25 from the field, got to the free throw line 6 times, went 11 for 12. He also had 2 steals and no turnovers in that game. Bruh. It's so weird. That team is one of those teams, right, where it's like, look at the rest of them. Bam, 9-4-3. PJ, 3-6-2. Lowry, 9-3-2. By the way, Kyle Lowry, what the heck? Hold up. We gotta pull that up, by the way, too, man. We all gotta enjoy seeing this together, bro. Cause Kyle Lowry, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong here, but I believe he's in the running for flop of the year. Did anybody see that highlight last night? Hold up. See if I know I shared that mug, man. Cause I was dying laughing at
right here.
Hold up.
Contact between the two.
Def in the running for
Right
flop
here.
of the year. What is that?
Lowry trying to tie
What is
him up.
that?
Hunter trying to hold him off, and it just can.
Keep your
What
eye
is
on
that?
Lowry here as he comes up, runs right into Hunter, gives him a shot.
Hey, Ringo, that's your mans? Hey, Ringo, that's your mans? That's your guy? That's who you rolling into the playoffs with, dog? That man out here, big credit for flop of the year. I ain't mad at him. That's hilarious, bro. I was dying laughing when I saw that. Them mugs had me. I was just like, bro, like, but even with that, right? Even with the flop, Tyler Hero didn't have a crazy night. Gabe Vincent didn't have a crazy night. Duncan Robinson off of a night where did he get hurt? Did I miss it? Did he get hurt? Nope, didn't get hurt. Didn't get hurt. Off a night where he made 8 threes, played 6 minutes. Off a night where he made 8 threes, played 6 minutes. That shows you how much they believe in him making 8 threes again. And even with Jimmy doing all that, Atlanta still kept it close. Trae Young was 2 for 10 from the three-point line, but still got in 25 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. John Collins only 13 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Hunter, again, 16 points. Nice game for him. Gallo and the rest of them, man. Oh, and Bogey. Oh, yeah, and Bogey, just in case you missed it. And Bogey. 29 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Woo! Oh, we getting busy. Oh, that ain't getting active. We getting busy. Mitchell was good. That ain't getting active. We getting busy. But even with all of that, right? Even with all of that, still coming out on the L side. Shout out to Jimmy Butler for coming out and absolutely balling out. I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him. But I will say this. Can you keep getting those moments? Jimmy Butler's a guy that absolutely can score a lot of points. He is. I'm not going to take it away from him. I'm not going to say that Jimmy Butler can't come out and score. I think he focuses more on the defensive end. And so that's why you don't see him score nearly as much, right? But when he needs to, he can. But when he needs to, he can, right? But can he do that for an entire series? That's pretty crazy. I don't see that. I don't see that. But you know what? The Hawks gave you their best shot. And you couldn't overcome it. And they couldn't overcome it. That one might be done. That series might be done. I thought the Hawks would fight. I said I'd give them 5. I think I said I'd give them a tough 5. But that series might be done. Here's the interesting one, right? And it's interesting for one reason. Last night, well, more than one reason, but last night, right? That Suns-Pelicans matchup. Pelicans come out ahead 125-114. But that game was close. All until Devin Booker goes down. Brandon Ingram was cooking. Devin Booker was cooking. We were watching a heck of a game. And we didn't really get much of an update on it either. But I'll tell you this, the Suns' chances without Book in this series, slim, bro. Slim. Because here's the thing, they have talent on this team. We said that coming into this. The Pelicans have talent on this team. The Pelicans aren't a bad team. They just haven't been in this situation much. You got B.I. who hasn't been in this situation. By the way, making your name on the big stage. 37 in the playoffs, making your name on the big stage. Everybody was like, B.I. pretty nice, man. You know, we don't know what I'm 37, 11, and 9, 1 steal, 1 block. Who don't know B.I. right now? Me and Kid told y'all a week before the playoffs, 2 weeks before the playoffs, man, these months are different, bro. And I told y'all coming in, this ain't Zion Town no more. They might as well trade him. At this point, right? Like, it ain't his town no more. Also, I don't know how he works with Valanciunas, and I like what Valanciunas gives you, especially with the guards you have. I feel like more of the team dynamic would be CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas. You roll out there with those guys as your 3, right? I don't know if they get you a championship. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe CJ's that level of player, right? But it's all about how this team comes out at this moment right now, right? And consistently matches up. Last night, B.I.'s cooking. CJ McCollum also with 23, 8, and 9. He's going. But you see, watch those games, bro. Watch those games closely. Every single time they start to, okay, we're gonna close down the paint. We're not gonna allow you to get in here. We're not gonna allow you to drive. We're not gonna allow you to, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting through here. That's the second you see little kickoff, little dime lay right off to Jonas Valanciunas for the easy 2-hand jam, or to kick out to him and people forget about him and he's got the easy midi, right? He's that perfect garnish on top of what the other two do. He's that perfect. There we go. On top of what the other two do. That's what changes the game about this team. That's what makes this team so deadly right now. That's what makes them dangerous right now. And I don't know if it's because of the contract situation that's looming, because he's not going to get paid. I don't know what it is, right? But DeAndre Ayton, where are you, my boy? 33 minutes, 10 points, 9 rebounds. What happened to you, brother? This was supposed to be your year, right? That contract year? This was supposed to be your year. Show out. Ball out in the playoffs. Show why you're going to get paid that big money. Or you should be getting paid that big money. And I'm going to tell you this right now, dog. Looking at how they're playing right now, I'll say this: without Devin Booker, they have no shot. Without Devin Booker, they have no shot. They just don't, right? He means that much to this team. He had 31 points by 24 minutes. He's fist bumping babies on the sideline. What the heck was that? That was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing so much for that team on a consistent basis that the biggest way or the biggest key for them, right, is him just being Devin Booker, just being dominant, just like he's the difference maker, right? Like I said yesterday on the show when we were all on here, there's only what do we say, 6 people really that have consistently been the reason that team's been in the finals, like Bron, Kobe, Duncan, Jordan. That's over the last 30 years. Like consistently in the Steph, consistently in the finals, Kobe. That's it, the last 30 years. Did I forget somebody? Kobe, Bron, Steph, Kobe, Duncan, Jordan. You need that level of player. You need that level of player to be successful in this league. You need that level of player to win an NBA championship. And unfortunately, Chris Paul at 36 now, ain't that level of player no more. Not to say he can't do that, but this is the beginning of the playoffs. He's not going to ride that wave all the way to the NBA Finals. If he does that, dog, you talking about him, you moving him up the ladder a long way, brother. You moving him up the ladder a long way. There's no way, right? Like, without Devin Booker, I don't see them getting that far. Without Devin Booker, dog, they might not get out of this round. Now, on the flip side, right? Yeah, I'm saying maybe all of a sudden DeAndre Ayton wakes up in that situation, but I would have hoped he woke up in the situation last night. Soon as D Book goes out, hey, guess what? You're next man up, brother. We needed you in that moment. We needed you to step up in that moment. We needed you to take that leap. That's going to be an interesting series. And I haven't seen an update on Booker's situation. Now, of course, I believe there are 2 games between their 2 days between their game, right? Where so they played yesterday. Yeah, they don't play again until the 22nd. That's Friday when the Bulls play again. So there'll be some time for him to come back, but it's going to be interesting to see, man. I was worried about Ja a little bit too. You saw him get that little, what's that mug called? Yeah, it is. It's a hip contusion. Somebody like Cat essentially just ran into his knee or into his thigh, and he went down for a little bit, but then came back cooking. Stop playing with my boy. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the page. If you haven't done so, I need you to just
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
just push the button for me. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man. As we're moving into this last little bit, let's do some breakdown, do some prediction. Just the final thoughts on what we're going to see tonight. We're going to need the best game you can get from P. Will. The best game you can get from Derrick Jones Jr. The best game you can get from Alex Caruso, because Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be on one. Giannis is going to be on one tonight, especially knowing that, listen, not to say that you slowed him down by any means, but Giannis already knows that you don't want to get his Bulls team life. You don't want to get his Bulls team anything to look at. You don't want to give this Bulls team anything to feel good going back to Chicago. This is the bigger game. This is the bigger game. I'd have loved to get game one, right? I would have loved to get game one. But we didn't. But if you can get game two, heading into playing at the United Center, if you can get game two heading into playing in the United Center, ooh, it's going to be rocking, baby. It's going to be jumping. Because you already know how the city's going to react to the fact that the playoffs are even here. But if we even feel like there's that glimmer of hope, right, that could turn the tide. I said earlier in this thing, I absolutely believe that a game two win is the most important win in this series, because if you can get that game two win heading into a tough game three, right? If you can get that game two win heading into game three on your home court, it can propel you enough to where the Bulls have been a good team, and now the mental stigma is broken. The Bulls have been a good team, and now the mental stigma is broken of, hey, we can't beat these good teams. We can't beat these teams that are above 500. We can't beat these teams that are this high, right? You must be this tall to ride this ride. We can't ride this ride yet. That's the feeling you have at the moment. This is the game where you have to change that. If you can turn the tide in this game and get the dub coming back into Chicago, you're riding a high coming into your hometown. You split on the road, fam. That would put Milwaukee at a little bit of a hold on now. Wait a minute. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, y'all? And here's the tough part. Listen, you got calls in the last game. I'm not even going to stunt with you. I was just as surprised as y'all were that we got calls. I was just as surprised as y'all were that we got those calls. Especially Giannis with the push-off. I was like, yo, wait a minute. Where we getting Giannis push-offs at? Where they do that at? I didn't expect that call to come through. We got a couple of them, too. But you're not going to get those calls probably tonight. I'm going to tell you this right now. Just like you didn't get that over the back on P. Will. That was a clear over the back. Or on Giannis Antetokounmpo, I should say. That was a clear over the back. And that's all I ask, right? Listen, coming into the night talking about officiating, all that I ask, if you're not going to give us the call, it is what it is. We're going to move. We can move past not getting the calls, right? If you're not going to give us the calls, we can move past not getting the calls. Don't then give him the foul on the other end that puts them ahead. At least let the play on the court dictate what it's going to be. At least let the play on the court dictate what it's going to be, right? In a game like this coming up, right, the question that I've been getting the most, do you want to see more Ayo DeSumo? Do you want to see Ayo doing more? Do you want to see more of him on the court? That depends on Ayo. That depends on Ayo. Right? If Ayo DeSumo's on the court and he's not getting cooked and he's able to score, I don't want, you know what's crazy? I don't even want Ayo to focus on the defensive end in this game. I want him to be, of course, not to say don't play defense, but like when you focus on something, especially when you're that young, even on the other end, you're like, okay, get back on defense. It's like, my boy, we ain't shot the ball yet. Even on the other end, hey, get back on defense. We got to get back on defense. We got to score first. I would rather see Ayo come off of the bench because now you're coming off of the bench. Not to say I want to see weak defense, not to say I want to see, but I would rather see Ayo coming off of the bench because he's coming off of the bench and we need that bench scoring being the bench scorer that we've been looking for. I would rather see Ayo come off of the bench and be that, hey, listen, where's that shooter that we had those games? Where's that guy that was killing it with the penetration and the drive and kick? Where's that guy? I'd rather see that. Because if you're showing me that, that tells me that you're ready for the moment. That tells me that you understand what the moment's going to be. That tells me that, okay, listen, now he's getting it going. We've already seen the dynamic of him and Kobe working together. Right? We've already seen that dynamic of him and Kobe on the court together and what they've done and how that inversely works well for both of them, right? So now, if Ayo DeSumo gets going, Kobe White gets going, now you got another scoring option. Guess what? Well, I'm telling you, once the three balls start falling, it's like an avalanche effect. Now you're talking about, oh, Vooch in the corner, cash. Now you're talking about Zach up top, cash. DeMar in the corner, cash. Think about that LA game. That Clippers game, the last great game of basketball we saw. I can't say that. Last game was pretty good basketball. We just couldn't knock down shots. But that Clipper game, the last great game of offensive basketball, I should say, that we saw. I want to see Ayo out there, right? But I want to see Ayo prove to me that he should be out there. Not just because, listen, you played well in the season coming up, because you know what? Ayo didn't play well against Drew Holiday. And those games where they really got into you, Drew Holiday got himself going early. That's why he's not starting in this one. Those games where they really got after you, where like you were on your back heels the entire time, Drew Holiday's getting it. He was getting after you. Apparently my dogs are freaking out. Don't worry about it. But right, those are the moments that you have to take advantage of. I want Io DeSumo to take advantage of this moment tonight. If he gets on the court, take advantage of it. Put some shots up. What did he take? 2 shots in the last game? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go. It's not the same game as it was before. This is the playoffs. There's much to say, oh, this is just another game for me. It's not. You come with a different intensity. You come with a different mindset. You come with an aggressive mindset. And the teams that don't, go home. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. There's definitely a level of patience that plays into it, right? There is. There's a level of listen. When you one of those veteran teams that have been in there, you're patient with it, but you know when to be aggressive. Right now, we don't have the talent where we can be one of those veteran teams that's taking our time and doing this and doing that, or at least we don't have the mental fortitude to do it right now. Not to say we don't have the talent. I think our team's very talented, but at least mentally right now, right, we're not knocking down those shots. We're not knocking down those plays. We're not making those plays happen. So for me, right, the biggest thing you got to do coming off of it, all right, let's keep it going. Let's try to get this going. How do we do that? Aggressive, drive, attack them, put them on their back heels, make them fall back, make them have to catch up to your pace. That's going to be the biggest difference for this team, man. And we got to see him do it. We got to see him do it, man. Hey, look. I said it on Locked On. I'm going to say it here. I'm in the business of predicting my team with dubs. Not to say I always say that we're going to win, not to say I always come out and say we're going to be on top, but I always wish the best for my team, and I think that in moments that they'll step up, right? I think this is that moment. I think this is that moment. For me, this is that moment of, hey, y'all want to take that next step? Show us. Y'all want to take that next step? Y'all want to be that level of team? Y'all want to get on that next level? Show us. And don't slack off on the other end with it. You can't slack off. The thing for me, right? Excuse me. The thing for me, right, that was key to see with this Bulls team was Kobe White. Not on the offensive end, shot the ball okay, didn't shoot the 3-ball great, but shot the ball overall okay, 5 for 10. But how Kobe White was helping on defense. How Kobe White was, and it really just shows like the what's it called? Like it shows the mindset of the team in that situation, right? How he was helping on defense, how he was jumping in front, like all the little things, all the intangibles. That's what you need to see in this game. That's what you need to see in this game. What he did in game one, maybe give me a few more points. Knock down a couple more threes. You know what I'm saying? But what he did in game one, you got to bring that in game two. Bring me that intensity. And I tell you this right now, names are made in the playoffs, jobs are saved in the playoffs. Names are made in the playoffs, jobs get saved in the playoffs. Not to say that Kobe White ain't going to be here next year, but I mean, it don't look good. But hey, this is going to be a fun day, man. At a minimum, it's going to be a fun night. I want to see this team come out with some fight. I want to see this team come out with aggression. I want to see this team ready to punch somebody in the mouth. Don't do it literally. I don't need you ejected from the game. I want to see them take it to Milwaukee. And here's the interesting thing, right? The Bucks Bulls game was the most watched playoff game of the night. The Bulls are good for the NBA. Chicago being in the playoffs is good for the NBA. Chicago being in the playoffs is good for the NBA. Hopefully that works in our factor. Hopefully that plays a factor in our favor. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe the NBA see them numbers and they be like, hey, send some of them calls the Bulls' way. Send some of them calls right over there. Right that way. If you could, please. But man, it's been another dope day, bro. It's been another fun show. Your boy went dolo on this one. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me for another episode. As always, man, hit that like button. Subscribe to the page.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
I'm having too much fun with this thing, man. As we're getting ready to get up out of here, man, we're going to have another video dropping at 2 today. We got a ton of content coming your way. Dropping my 3 keys to a Bulls victory tonight. That's going to drop at 2. Also, at 3 o'clock, we're going to have that special wide receiver I was telling y'all about. That video is going to be dropping as well. I'm also going to watch the White Sox in this one a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see what my team is doing out here, man. If you guys haven't done so, man, we appreciate all the support. We will be qualifying 2 more people for the Aldo Sumu giveaway at 13K, and we're moving closer, man. We're moving closer. Listen, y'all know we got more jerseys in this mug to give away. We've got more jerseys in this mug to give away. I'm telling y'all. So tune in. If y'all tune in for the post-game show, man, and call in, we'll ask you a couple trivia. We'll ask you a trivia question. You'll get thrown into the hopper, and we'll make it happen, man. So as always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. We appreciate y'all for showing that love, man. Let's get hyped before we get up out of here, man. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Help. Y'all already know what we need tonight, man. Y'all already know what we need tonight. I'm going to need a dub. Let me get a dub.